coming up next. Stay tuned to learn more about the state of the art in blockchain and cryptocurrency technology. Reimagine 2020.
Hi, I'm Joff Paradise, and welcome to Reimagine 2020.
Hi, everybody. It's your host, Ashlie Meredith, Head of Education at MouseBelt Blockchain Accelerator. And I'm here with a very special interview with someone I've gotten the chance to know really well over just the last few days. He's a well-known cryptocurrency educator and investor who's made it his life mission to share his knowledge with the world. And you all know how excited I am to talk to people who care about blockchain education. So without further ado, the founder of CyptoMaticATM, Joff Paradise. Joff, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you may be in this big, beautiful world. To all of the viewers out there today, I just want to say thank you for so much for listening in. And what an amazing conference. I've been hearing all these different speakers from Roger Ver, and all these guys are talking so much amazing things. And it's such a great opportunity to be a pioneer in this industry with all of you. So thank you again for introducing me, and thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, well, we're really excited to have you on. You know, you have an amazing story, and you and I have been working hard the last few days well, why don't you tell the viewers what we've been working on?
Well, I have to say something first. I have to commend all of the hard work that's being done behind the scenes. You know, Ashlie and Patrick and everyone that's been working so hard back behind the scenes that you guys don't know how hard this is to put something like this together. And they've done an amazing job. So first and foremost, let me say thank you from the bottom of my heart. How much I appreciate all the hard work and all the relentless hours that all of you have put in lately. You asked me to tell a little bit about Joff Paradise and a little bit about me, and I don't want to start all the way back to the beginning, but I will tell you this much. I was adopted, brought to the United States from Germany when I was a young age, raised in the United States. I started actually as an entrepreneur when I was very young. I wanted nice things. Who doesn't like nice things? I wanted to have possessions and nice things. And so I started working really hard. I was raised by a single mom, and she did the best she could. I was in and out of foster homes before that. And anyway, long story short, I started becoming an entrepreneur. And back in 2009, I had accumulated and owned multiple companies. I had 10 fitness centers, 3 casinos, 2 restaurants, a bar, a coffee shop, and a telecommunications company. And I was doing really well. And unfortunately, and I say unfortunate because it's unfortunate that anybody has to go through a divorce. I had to go through a divorce in 2010. During that divorce, my former wife, who's a friend of mine and still today, we have 6 children together. So we have to be friends.
You have 8 children, don't you?
I do. I'm remarried with two children, and my wife and my ex-wife, and we all get along because I think that's the proper thing to do. And so my ex didn't want to acquire and keep our businesses, so we started selling them and we started to liquidate. And when that was started, I got introduced to blockchain and then Bitcoin. The technology of Bitcoin, and I got a few Bitcoin at the time. I way overpaid for Bitcoin. I paid a whole $1.90. And at the time, I think it was like 60 cents. So I was very upset that I overpaid. But then in 2011, I was, unfortunately, the very last day, December 31st of 2011, I was in a very horrific accident. And that accident, the results of that accident is that I lost my left leg. I have a rod, 18 screws and 2 plates in what's left of my left leg. I have a plate, complete right knee replacement, 47 surgeries and procedures on my neck and spine. When I woke up, I spent 91 days in the hospital, died twice. And when I woke up, 6 doctors said I would never be able to walk again and never be able to complete a sentence without stuttering. And I want to explain this. I tell you this story because it's not, and of course that has nothing to do with blockchain or nothing to do with cryptocurrency really, but it has everything to do with it, because I want people to understand that, you know, even though 6 doctors said I would never walk again, today I'm obviously, I'm walking, I'm talking. I've been to more than 107 countries in the last 4 years. I've spoken in front of 16,000 as my largest audience. And hopefully today this is going to be a lot bigger. But you know, we talk about, or we are heard, or we're told that we can't do things in our lives. And people tell us that, no, you can't be this, or no, you can't do that, or you'll never amount to this. And I'm living proof that you can be something as long as you set your mind to it. You know, I quote Albert Einstein, and Albert Einstein was amazing to me. And I study history and biographies of different people, successful people, and I read a lot. Roger Ver talks about reading, and you know,
he talks about it on our show, right?
Yeah, he did.
We're gonna give some books away.
You know, I
$1 Million Habits.
Yeah. I'm reading this book now, and I consistently read 2 or 3 books a month at least, and I believe in reading. And I want to tell you, come full circle, I tell you this because, and I let everyone be aware of this. You know, you're talking to a guy, or a guy's talking to you right now that was on disability, food stamps. You know, I had nothing. I got out of the hospital after 91 days. I had nothing left. All of my kids were gone. I had full custody. My ex-wife had to take care of my children because I couldn't. And I lived that way all the way till 2014. And I got back into cryptocurrency and understanding cryptocurrency, and started networking through the industry. And I realized that I could not live on $1,000 a month, basically. And it just didn't work for me. And I don't know how anybody can. And I want other people to realize that if you truly want freedom, if you truly understand success, and I'll talk about the 4 laws of success and how they intertwine with what I'm talking about tonight or today, but I want you to understand, if you truly desire and want success, then only you is stopping you from having it. Not everybody else around you. Only you can change your life. And now, how do you change your life? How can you change the way you're doing things? And like I said, Albert Einstein said, the definition of insanity is doing what? The same thing every day, expecting a different result. Now, I realize a lot of us have lived that way, right?
I want to point out that that's one of the first things that you said to me. I want to rewind a little bit just for everyone watching. Thanks again for the kind words about how hard we've been working. And I just want to thank you as well for coming on to support us. And we've got something special for anyone tuning in, and you've got a great message. It's really inspiring. And I do want to hear a little bit more about you getting into crypto as early as 2011 and maybe what you were doing before blockchain. I know you said you didn't want to start from the beginning, but I think it's really interesting to see how people all got into this space. And it's a great lesson for the students about, you know, pursuing these kinds of things. But we have something special for anyone tuning in. You may have already seen it if you've been to the conference website, but we are giving away a CryptoMaticATM. So listen in for later during this interview. We're going to give away a secret phrase that will allow you to get extra entries. So just wanted to shout you out again, Joff. Thank you so much. But one of the first things you said to me when we talked about whether you wanted to get involved in what we think is, you know, a new way of thinking about conferences or content creation, which is that, yeah, you've been doing conferences, blockchain conferences, you've seen it all. We're doing something a little bit differently here. And that's what you said to me was, you know, I want to try new ways of growing my business, and we just really appreciate that you hopped on.
Well, thank you. And I appreciate, again, you having me here. You know, let's just dive in real quick. And I know I've had a lot of blah, 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 but let's just dive in for those of you that really need some meat on this situation. So let me, all the other speakers have been great. And I hope that I will inspire you to be great. So this is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about really quickly the 4 laws of success. Now you can call them principles or pillars or whatever, but I really think that they're a law. And what is a law? It's something that you shouldn't break, right? You should conform, you should go by the law. Okay? This is not a government law. To me, this is a universal law. So what is the first one? Well, I talked about that a little bit. And in life, you have to understand that we all know how to do the first one. I think everybody knows how to do number 1. That's how to make money. To truly be successful, to travel, to take care of your family, to maybe leave a legacy. And in doing that legacy, what do you have to do? You have to have money. So what's number 1? You have to know how to make money. Now, a lot of you here know how to make money. Maybe all of you do. And what happens is when you learn how to make money, you don't learn how to do number 2. Now, when I was 14 years old, I had a company. When I was 24 years old, I sold a company. I made multi-million-dollar deal on that company. By the time I was 28, I was broke. They didn't teach me in school. I have a master's degree in exercise physiology and kinesiology. I'm not some crazy, person. I'm telling you by life experience what I have been taught, and I paid dearly for. I think I have a triple PhD in life right now. So number two is what? Learning how to keep it. Once you know how to make money, you need to learn how to keep that money in cryptocurrency, may it be, right? Because that's our future. So number 1, you make it. Number 2, you learn how to keep it. But what's number 3? By the time I was 28, I didn't have any money. So what is number 3? It's learning how to keep. No, number 2 is learning how to keep it. Number 3 is learning how to do what? Once you know how to do 1 and 2, you need to know how to do number 3. Number 3 is how to make it more. How to put your money to work for you. How to make your money grow. How to create residual passive income that keeps coming in when you're asleep, when you're sick, when you want to go travel, whenever it is you want to do. Now, those 3 things are great. And I'm sure that most of you will go, well, if I've got those 3 things, why do I need number 4? What could there be? Ash, what's number 4? What do you think number 4 could be? What could it be?
Probably something about being a good person or doing what you say you'll do or something like that.
You're on the right track. You're on the right track. Now, Roger and I have a lot in common. We both believe in Bitcoin Cash and we believe in Bitcoin, but also we understand that we're not here because we need to make money. I'm not here selling you something. I'm not here to try and present something to you for you to buy. Okay? You can listen to me or you can't. But if you do, maybe the 4 things that I'm going to teach you today or try to help you with today will get you to the next level. But the only thing that will change that is you taking action. It's like I said before, you can live that same insanity of doing the same thing over every day, and you'll never see the results that you want because you didn't take action to change it. So number 4 is very simple. You have to learn the first 3 to do number 4. And number 4 is simply giving back. Now, some of you might tithe, you might believe, you might be religious, you might want to tithe and offerings and do all those things. That's something that's great. And I believe in that also. But I want you to understand that giving back means that you have to learn those first 3 laws and then get those 3 laws back to everyone else. Once you've learned how to make money, once you learn how to keep money, and once you learn how to make it into more money, then you need to give that back to the world. You need to give back. You need to start giving to the universe. And the more you give, the more you receive. Now, I know a lot of you heard that and you're like, I've heard that before. But think about this. I truly believe, and I live this principle, that if you give enough people what they want, you'll always have what you want. And you will. You don't, many, many years ago, people used to ask me, how come you don't worry about paying your bills? How come you don't worry about your car payment or your house payment? And you know what? But then I lived in the world of credit. And I always had a car payment or a house payment or all these things with credit. Today, I don't believe in credit. I don't think it's something that anyone should be able to possess as credit. If you can't pay for it, you shouldn't have it. But that's my philosophy. I'm not putting this on you, but I'm explaining to you that if you don't want to live in slavery, and slavery is real, enslaved by debt is real. It's the real deal. You never notice how you only have enough pay for 3 weeks of the month and not 4 when you're working a job? Now, some people call that just over broke. I say jump out of bed, because
Yeah.
you got a job every day. You got to jump out of bed, and you're just over broke 3 weeks out of the month. And the 4th week, you have no money. And what do you got to do? Go get a payday loan. What is this about credit? Why do you want to live that way? Why not be debt free? Why not have control of your own bank? Why not become your own bank with cryptocurrency? And that allows us, with cryptocurrency today, that allows you to become your own bank and be financially free. So that's my 4 laws or pillars or principles, you can call them, of success. I hope you all listen, and I hope you follow those. But the one true thing that has to happen is you have to take action to change your life. And again, thanks for having me on today. It's been fun. And we're going to talk about the secret word, right? We're going to talk about that secret word.
Yeah, sure. Well, you know, if you have a little more time, I'd love to dive in a little more to what you're talking about, and why you think cryptocurrency can provide that freedom. And I would just say that it's been a journey for me to come to a place where I understand the value of money. This is something you don't know about me yet. You do know, like, before blockchain, I was a professor, but I'm a professor in ethics, and I started my adult life as a public health. I was doing, you know, HIV, STD outreach, and I've worked at behavioral health clinics for teens with mental illness, you know, all these different things. And also having, being an academic and feeling like I want to be an educator, and they're always underpaid because I was doing good, right? Because I wanted to do
Seems
good.
like the good is always underpaid, doesn't it?
Right. And I felt justified in being underpaid because I was doing good. But realizing what you're saying here, it's kind of like that metaphor of the airplane when the oxygen masks come down, you got to put your own on first before you can help other people. So I love that your 4 pillars of success ends with that giving back. Once you get to a place where you have helped yourself, then you got to teach other people how you did it as well. And that's what this whole conference is about, and why we've been asking people, you know, how did you get into blockchain? What is your advice for students? To really share that knowledge and practical wisdom and things like, you know, read these books. Roger Ver, I think Mark Yusko also is going to send us a list of books. So if you have a list of books that we should send to students, let us know. We'll work something out with that.
I definitely do.
But yeah, so you own you're the founder of a company called CyptoMaticATM, right? And
That's cool.
I haven't looked into this history as much, but me and my team, we are distributed, or we are all over the world. We travel a lot, and we like to operate in Bitcoin most of the time. So we use Bitcoin ATMs all the time. And we actually have a location, an office called Blockchain Center SF. When we got the idea, when we saw Bitcoin Center Korea, it's like a community center for Bitcoin, and there's a Bitcoin ATM there. And we were like, oh my gosh, we need one for our office. But just in kind of researching you a little more, some of the presentations that you've sent me about the history of Bitcoin and like the first ATM, like what was that history, and when did you get in the game, and why?
It's a long story, but I'll tell you the short version. First and foremost, I got into the ATM business because my newly wife, now almost 4 years, we were in the factory in Ukraine, and we bought shares, and we did some stuff with the factory there. And I'm walking through the factory floor, and I'm wondering how we're going to save all these people's jobs, because I see the regular ATM market going downhill. There's not as many orders there, you know, so on and so forth with the fiat ATMs. And we'd made hundreds of thousands of ATMs for different companies. And we do 1,600 different vending machines today. But I wanted to do something different. And so I came up with the idea of doing cryptocurrency ATMs. Now, you think about this. Why would anybody think about doing a cryptocurrency ATM machine back that many years ago? And I've always tried to.
What year was that again, Joff?
That was in 2017. So it's not that many years, but it's been, for our market, of course, yeah.
For a 10-year-old industry, it's a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. So I thought, how can we develop a machine, an ATM machine that would work for cryptocurrency? And the hardware is not the hardest part. It's actually the software. We are a part of the IBS system, the internet, the inner working system of ATMs, and we can actually attach our ATMs to our crypto ATMs to the ATMs network for conventional ATM machines. What we can't do is we can't take those ATMs and upgrade them to where they need to do cryptocurrency because it's much more advanced. The software is. So their hardware doesn't support our software, basically. And so I've been to Ecuador, I've been to numerous countries and tried to get there, even Germany, Poland, I've been to Moscow and Russia. And I've looked at their ATMs and tried to take their ATMs and upgrade them, and it's just not possible. So that's why you haven't already seen that done. And that's why you have approximately 7,000 ATMs now that are actually, that you can locate, and more than 12,000 ATMs have been produced. There are ATMs that are out there that unfortunately manufacturers or sub-manufacturers introduced to the market, they had no software. Back when this first started, they were making ATMs and saying they were cryptocurrency ATMs, but they had no software. So now those ATMs are sitting in warehouses and places because they don't have software. So again, the difficult part was creating a software that will work. Now our ATMs not only do a cash-in system where you buy your Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, because it'll hold, we can do up to 10 or 12 different cryptos you can buy. Now that's one thing. And the largest part of the market today is actually about 82% of the market today, I believe, is cash in, which we call one way, which means that you can buy Bitcoin or cryptocurrency with some of those. What the deal is a lot of, there's the two-way system, and we do a three-way system. We do a cash in, we do a cash out, which means that you can sell your cryptocurrency to the ATM machine, but then we also do a card out. What is a card out? Well, we have a closed loop card system that you can get, like a Visa, MasterCard, or Union Pay, and you can get that card from the ATM and then load that card systematically as you please. And you can spend that anywhere that those people take those cards.
The ATM will dispense a card for you that you can then use at a store.
Right.
That is brilliant. That is great. So it's just super interesting, like, why Bitcoin ATMs haven't been a thing before, and the software. I don't think a lot of people realize that. Maybe people are thinking, like, why aren't there more? Why do you think it's important that there's Bitcoin ATMs or that there's cryptocurrency enabled ATMs?
That's a great question. And I think that's twofold. One, I think it's important now because people need a way to buy cryptocurrency that they feel that's safe, that's immediate within a few seconds, depending on the mining pool. And you go walk up to a machine and it's instant gratification. I get that. But really, people talk to me all the time. They go, I don't see the sustainability with the ATMs because I can buy crypto on the internet. I can buy crypto through my phone. I can go to an exchange and buy crypto on my cell phone, right? And some people can, but majority of the people still don't know that. But our real target market is the 3 billion people on the planet that can't get a checking account. Those people don't have a way to bank, so they don't have a way to buy cryptocurrency through an exchange right now. Now, if you can tell me where to go and buy without a bank account, without a credit card, without a debit card, where I can buy Bitcoin online, please show me how that happens. I don't think it's possible. So those are the people that we're really looking at. Those are the communities and the sovereign communities out there in the world today that don't have access to banking. I'll give you an example. Panama has about 26% of their population cannot get a bank account. And we're talking about Panama, the country, and Ukraine, where we live in Ukraine. The majority of the people there, over 30% of those people do not have a bank account. And and I would say over 70% of those people don't even trust the banks. Back in 2017, 18, if I remember correctly, more than 30 banks closed in 1 year in Ukraine, which means when they close, where did your money go? So you have to be very cautious on where you put your dollar. And those unfortunate people where are they putting their fiat currency? In a mattress, in a coffee can, in a shoebox somewhere? And what happens to that fiat? Well, if you look at the Ukraine and in the US dollar and other fiat currencies around the world, what has happened to that? It's gone deflated. So what happens? You have $100 that you had 2 years ago won't buy the same amount of products that you could today, correct? So what we have to do is we think about, okay, let's look at this logically, guys. Let's look at this. You guys are smart people. You're people that are learning on education. So let's think about this logically. If you would have had $100 5 years ago, can you buy the same amount of products 5 years ago that you can today? Well, of course not. The dollar has done what? Devaluated. It's not as worth as much as it is today. If you would have bought cryptocurrency 5 years ago, where would you have today?
Yeah, a lot more.
A lot more. A lot more. So, guys, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not one of those people that can tell you how to buy or how to go and trade and do all that stuff, even though I already do all of that and I've been in it for a multiple amount of years now. I will tell you this much. The best thing you can do for yourself is to educate yourself, because education can make you smart, going to school, studying, but self-education will make you rich.
Nice. That's a good soundbite. I love that. So with banking the unbanked, right? It's kind of like, it's almost like a buzzword, right? It's what the industry talks about all the time. Like, oh, crypto's amazing because it's going to bank the unbanked. But hopefully for the professionals and the students as well listening, because it really goes back to a point that I make a lot in these interviews, which is how much opportunity there is in blockchain, even for people who aren't necessarily technical. Like, you don't have to be there. There's really great jobs out there, right, for blockchain developers, and there's a lack of blockchain developers, and it's the number one hottest job skill, and you can get paid really well. But building the blockchain space isn't just about building these protocols. Like, we also need products and services. We need people who know, like yourself, Joff, like how to build businesses and how to think about these things a little differently. So I just want to, again, encourage students who may not be technical to, find what their strength is and bring it into blockchain, right? I'm a philosopher and I bring that into blockchain and an educator. So that's what I focus on. You've built many successful businesses, and you think about the customer and how is a customer actually going to use crypto, and a crypto ATM that will give you a bank card is amazing. So, so for all the students out there, find your passion and your, your talent. What makes you a superhero? Bring that in the blockchain, because we need you. And for everyone in the industry, think about that as well. We need to start focusing on the customer more. The user design and the user experience has to be better. The on-ramps need to be shorter for customers to get involved in this. So really love what you're doing with CyptoMaticATM. Should we plug the giveaways? So the secret phrase.
Yeah. Let me ask you guys a question. Let's go this way. Ashlie, let me ask you everyone a question real quick. And I know you can't answer me, but I want you to think about this. How many of you out there would like an opportunity to actually have their very own business? I mean, this is something that's far beyond just you get a Cadillac like Oprah, you get a Cadillac, you get a Cadillac, you get this car, you get this. It's nothing like that. We want to focus on giving an opportunity to someone of their very own business. Okay. Yes, there are some restrictions. First of all, we cannot pay for the shipping, but you pay the shipping. The ATM is free, 100%. We're going to load it with the software. We're going to help you set it up. We're going to do the logistics. We're going to make sure that your area, your country can have that ATM machine. And If you need to go out and get something for make it that happen, we can help you with that, and we will help do that. The only thing you have to do is provide the shipping, and that's not that expensive. But we're going to give you a real business. That's like McDonald's or Burger King or Subway sandwiches saying, hey, we're going to give you a location. We're going to give you a store. You just need to figure out where to put it. And that's what we're doing. We're going to give you an actual business. You figure out where to put it. You don't have to pay anything but the shipping. We'll take care of the rest, and we'll make that happen. Now, if those of you listening right now want some more chances to win, we do have a secret word, and you've been listening to me go blah, blah, blah for a little bit longer now than normal. So I want to give you a secret word to say. You guys ready? I hope you're ready. You need to put in VTC ATM. You'll get 5 extra entries from your 1 entry. You'll get 5 extra entries. Now, you want 10 extra entries? Do a video explaining why you need or would like to have your very own ATM machine. Make sure you put in there in the video that you say where you would like to put it. And we'll get back with you. We'll make sure, and we'll get you 10 extra entries on that also. How's that sound, Ashlie?
That's great. Awesome. So hopefully people tuning in caught the secret phrase, get some extra entries. And we've already been getting some videos from people through the campaign telling us that they want to win a free CryptoMatic ATM. So it's fun to see people all over the world participating. Thanks for doing that, Joff. So maybe just to wrap it up a little bit, we talked about, encouraging students to get into the space regardless of their background. Maybe some just last words from you, some practical advice. I know you gave us the 4 pillars of success, but especially as someone who, came from such a hardcore like business background and has jumped into an emerging field, maybe just for all the students listening out there, any last words about, joining an emerging market like this?
Well, a quote comes to mind by Winston Churchill: never, never, never give up. You might not do it perfectly. You might not be the best at it, but if you love to do it and you find something you love to do, you'll never work a day in your life. I know you've heard that before. That is so true. I have passion for what I do, and I love doing what I do. And I've loved all the different fields that I've ever been into and been able to accomplish. I wasn't the great at most of them, but I did them. And never, never, never give up.
Well, where can people find you if they want to learn more about your story, crypto? I know you have a bunch of educational resources. If they want to know more about these ATMs, tell us all your sites, your Twitter handles. Where can people find you?
I'm pretty easy to find. If you look at joffparadise.com, you can go to that website, and all of my social media sites are at the bottom, so you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram. I have 133 social media sites today that I'm on. And I love encouraging people. I love hearing of your stories. So please interact with me. I truly think the one thing we didn't talk about, Ashlie, is you did say something that really got my ear going, and it's the onboarding process. And I'm sorry, but a lot of people out there don't know reading. They don't read today. I could send out an email to 36,000 people and tell them in the email that they're going to get some Bitcoin. And I would say 1% maybe will read that email, and maybe a half or a quarter% would actually get the Bitcoin. And the reason that is because we're obsessed with our time. And now, right now, yes, a lot of us have a little more time on our hands than normal. So what I would interject here is we need an onboarding process in all of our platforms, and that's coming. I think we need a virtual assistant to help us on board. I have multiple ideas. I have more companies than just CryptoMaticATM.com. That's CryptoMaticATM.com. We have JP Technologies, JP Solutions, JP Technology Group, and on and on and on. We do trading, we do robots, we do ICOs, we do IEOs. The next big thing, you really want to know what the next big thing is? Blockchain. Blockchain, blockchain, blockchain. That's the next internet, folks. Everybody get this. Blockchain technology is the next internet. It's going to be, and when I say that is, I'm not saying it's taking the place of the internet. I'm just trying to explain to you that that's the next big thing, like the internet. When we talk about disruption, a lot of us talk about, the internet was so disruptive to our world. Well, duh. so is blockchain. And if you really start to study and integrate yourselves into blockchain technology, whether you're in the medical field, whether you're in the real estate field, whether you're an artist, you imagine if you have, instead of numbering your art, you put your art on the blockchain. How cool is that? Because it can't be reproduced. It can't be forged. It creates such integrity and such transparency. So anyway, you're going to get me started on a whole nother story. Thank you guys for listening.
Yeah.
You having me here.
Yeah, I know we could probably go on forever. You're such an interesting guy, and we have, you know, a lot of beliefs in common as far as what needs to happen in blockchain space and the importance of education. Love having these conversations with people, and I really appreciate you coming on. So everybody, Joff Paradise, I'm Ashlie Meredith with MouseBelt at Reimagine 2020. Thanks for tuning in.
We'll see you at the top.
Stay tuned to learn more about the state of blockchain education at major universities all around the world. Reimagine 2020.